Today we are speaking with the founder of Tenufa Bakehila, Gabi Nachmani. Gabi has a dream that no one in Israel would live in housing poverty. How he intends to fulfill that dream and where these core values stem from are some of the topics we cover on this episode of the CBN Israel People Podcast. We are so privileged today to have you, Gabi Nachmani, here on the program. You're the founder and director of Tenufa Bakehila, and we're going to get into that. I want you to explain, first of all, what it means, in English. But I was so touched when we were talking yesterday. I was so touched to hear your story of your childhood, and I asked you, I was like, it looks like your childhood and how your experience is what caused you to start this organization. And I think it's such a beautiful story, and I would love for you to share it with us.
Great. Okay, so when people ask me what motivated me to start this program and run it for so many years, we've been around for 30 years now. Yes, it is my childhood. I grew up in a home where my father died when I was 8 years old, and my mother was a relatively new immigrant from Egypt. They were expelled from Egypt, thrown out from Egypt by the Islamic extremists in Egypt. They came to Israel, and she didn't have much Hebrew, and she didn't have profession. So we didn't have much money in the house growing up. So right away after my father died, I was sent to an orphanage. And you can imagine, an 8 years old going to an orphanage, and I needed love, and I needed care, and I needed the warmth of a house. But here we didn't have that. And it took me about 2 years to get enough courage to run away from the orphanage and cross all Jerusalem, from north to south to my home, and get back to the warmth of my home. At home, I can attribute my desire to help people and repair their homes really comes from my mother. My mother was a wonderful angel. And as an angel, she taught us that we're not poor. We didn't have any money, Kids were making fun of my, big shoes that are 2-3 sizes bigger than my legs, my feet. But, we didn't care because we always thought that there are people who are poorer. And that's what she taught us all the time. We're not poor. We don't have any money. But there are people who are poorer, and we need to help them. We have to help them. They need help. In our neighborhood, we had a lot of Holocaust survivors who came basically with nothing, no family, no help, and lived, a lot of them were elderly people who needed help. And my mother used to send us all the time, go change the light bulb in this house, go unclog the sink, for this old lady. And we would go, my brother and I, he's 3 years older. So, I was 10 years old, so he was 13 years old. And we would go to homes of people who needed our help and help in our neighborhood. And later, when I joined the Israeli army as a combat soldier, we have that in the blood. My father was in the underground before the founding of the state of Israel. And even today, my kids, I have 7 kids, and 5 of them today are in the army. 2 of them are in Lebanon, 2 of them are in Gaza, and the other one is in the main headquarters of the paratroopers. She's running the whole operation of manpower in the paratroopers corps. So after I finished the army, I founded a small company of home repair and renovations. And but soon enough, my partner threw me out because when I would go to a home and see an old lady that couldn't afford something, and I would just do it for free and do it for free and do it for free, and yeah, he didn't like that. So we We
Well, that's
separated.
because you grew up like
Right.
with seeing these problems in the house and understanding what it was like to fix it, that it was going to cost a lot of money, and so you guys did it yourselves, you and your brother, and
Yes.
so that's what you just wanted to do for other people.
Right.
It's amazing.
So then we spent a couple of years in America, where also, I found I had a desire to come and help people. And I remember a single mother, in Denver. We lived in Denver for a couple of years, and in Denver there was a single mother that used to call us all the time. Please come help. I have so many things broken in the house, and can you help me with this and help me with that? Then when we returned to Israel, I worked for an educational program, but for me, it was not enough. So I founded within this organization, I founded a social service program, and we called it already Tenufa Bakehila. We actually call it in English, we call it Building Hope, because that is what we do. We build hope for, people who are dreamless, people who don't have hope, who forgot what it means. So we I founded this project within this nonprofit, and we started as a very small project just in Jerusalem in one neighborhood, and we would do maybe 15, home repairs a year, 20 home repairs a year. But then people start hearing about us and asked us if we can come to other cities. For example, Beit Shemesh, right away heard about what we do, and they came and asked me if I would open a program. So that's when I decided to start fundraising. We went back to America, my wife and I, and sorry, we went back to America, my wife and I, and we raised funds for the first work foreman, and we started going receiving lists from the social services of the municipality, first in Jerusalem and then Jerusalem and Beit Shemesh, and from there, it became a system of how we do it. We other cities also asked us, so we would go and raise the money, come to the city and say, okay, here we're ready, but you have to be serious. You as a municipality, you have to be serious. You have to reach into your pocket and also give something, and also appoint somebody as a layperson between the people, the recipients, and the program. And that's how we work today, and that's how we developed the program today. We're in 20 cities now, and we keep developing all the time. We see our mission. We see our mission in Israel today to wipe out all the hardest cases of housing poverty all across the country. And the main reason is because there's no one else who's doing that. I met with the Minister of Welfare about 4 years ago, and I asked him, I said, look, we're doing 500 home repairs a year. You need us. We're going to be your partners. Take us and we'll do it together. And he said, I'm really sorry, but governments don't fix private homes of private people. He said, go check it out. Check it out in Europe. Check it out in America. Governments don't do that. It's the responsibility of the homeowners to fix their home. So this is the moment that I felt that I have to do something. This is it. We're it. We're the biggest program in Israel today. 600 homes a year is the biggest program. The next one down from us, they do 35 homes. So we're the biggest program in Israel. Not only that, but if we don't develop to other cities and we don't help out in other cities, those people are going to remain in the same dilapidation that they have right now. And the dilapidation is terrible. We go into homes that, for example, an old lady that has a broken floor, and she keeps falling and breaking, things, and and ending up in the hospital, or a Holocaust survivor that a couple of years ago we went into a home of a Holocaust survivor. There was a pile of about 30 inches of garbage on the floor. Why? Because he could not reach down and clean. So everything that fell on the floor stayed there. And he did not have running hot water in the house. So every time he needed, he would go to the community bathhouse and bathe there. And he did not have a functioning shower, so yeah, and a functioning kitchen. The kitchen was all crumbling because the water was leaking from the roof, and we had to come replace the kitchen and put in hot water and replace even the toilet seat and everything else in the house. We had to replace and make sure that now he's living in dignity. And the beautiful thing is that with this person, we came to visit him 4 months later, and we found a neighbor in his house. This is the first time that after our repairs, that he could be proud of what he has. It's the dignity of the person. He's proud that now he can let people in. And even, that he even got up, he's 92 years old, he even got up and said, "Can I serve you Coke? Here it is," and he went to the fridge and about 92 years old, and brought Coke with so much pride. "Look at my beautiful home." So, and it happens a lot with children. We see it with children. We do hundreds of home repairs for single mothers every year. I see that this is the future of Israel. Those children, if they break out from the poverty line, they're going to be a great asset to the state of Israel. So every time we hear about single mothers with young children, they get a priority right away. They're going to be the first one, the second one, that we're going to go to. And we go to homes where children tell us, "I never bring friends to my home because I'm too embarrassed that they see the black walls or the crumbling, peeling plaster, and see where I live on a very old and dirty mattress." And so this is we help those people change their lives, break out from the poverty line, poverty situation. One of the things that is helping us is, this is quite a few years already that we decided it's not enough to come into a home and just repair the walls and repair the faucet and repair the electricity and the water system or the drain system, whatever it is. You need to do something in the family. So we hired social workers who work for us. They go into the home while we're working there or after we work in that home, and they assess the family. Okay, what do you need? You don't have a profession, you need a job? Okay, I'll try to help you. Come with me. We take him by the hand. And we go to the municipality or to the employment office, and we sit with them and we check it out. And you should see, it's amazing. We had a guy that for years he was in such despair, from finding a job, that he said, "No more. I'm not going to look anymore." He was a young guy, maybe 40, 42 years old. "I'm not going to look anymore. That's it. I had enough disappointments. I don't want another one." And he would tell his wife that he's going for physical therapy and, other things. And in the meantime, he would just go and hang out with some friends and do nothing. So when we came into one of the homes and we found him there doing nothing in one of these homes, we offered him that we can help him, we can help train him through our work. He can come be with us, not work for us, but be with us, be with my workers, and learn the job of how to fix things around the house. And he became the maintenance guy of the community center, 100 meters from his house. And later, one time I came to this community center and I see him on a bicycle, with an outfit and, very proud of himself. So it's not only the fixing of the house, it's the dignity of the person and much care. And the social worker also, she looks around and she sees, let me look at the bed. She came into a home and she saw that a mother is sleeping in the same one bed that she had, who was 14 years old. This is not proper. This is not proper. You know, a mother was a 14 years old to sleep in the same bed. This is not proper. And that's only because they didn't have enough money to buy another bed. There was room. So, so we supply also furniture and appliances and dental care and eye care and whatever it is. You know, sometimes we would hook them up with other organizations, not do it ourselves, but hook them up with other organizations who give all these services.
I think it's important for people to understand the costs. Like,
Right.
first of all, housing in Israel is disproportionately high compared
Right.
to salaries. So even if a person owns the house, or if they're, renting or whatever, they're usually, the mortgage or the rent is 50% of their monthly income, and maybe even more if they're living on a pension or something. But explain a little bit, like, the if you were going to do your own construction, like, you don't have hot water, or you don't have electricity or running well in your house. A lot of the buildings are also old, right? So what are the costs? What would this cost a person who's already, like, living on the poverty line?
If we needed to change a kitchen, to replace a kitchen for, say, a single mother family with 3 children, it needs to be large enough. It would cost them about 20,000 shekels, which is over, it's about $6,000, to change the kitchen. So for them, it's impossible. They usually don't have enough money for even the light bulb that costs $3, or $2, or, something like that. So yes, you touch on a very important point, because in the 1990s, in the early 90s, a lot of new immigrants came to Israel from the former Soviet Union and from Ethiopia, and the government put them up in government housing, but the government doesn't want to keep maintaining that. So they wanted to sell it to them, but they don't have money. So they gave them very, very significant discounts to buy those homes. Usually it was about 80% discount. So all they had to pay is something minimal for about 20% of the cost, and very minimal mortgage also. But those people came here with no ability to fix the house. Not only that, but many of them came with no jobs. And now you don't have jobs, you don't have money. How do you fix your home? So the home gets more and more run down and dilapidated, and things are breaking all around the house. And sometimes if you shower, the shower is broken, then okay, so what do I do? So I put some hose here, and okay, so I'll be okay. No, it's not okay. No, it's not okay. So many of the clients that we have are new immigrants from that generation, from the 1990s, who came to Israel.
Okay. Oh, wow. So during the war,
Yeah,
your work got put on hold for a
in
little
the
while
beginning.
in the beginning,
Right.
but you pivoted. You're doing something new now. Can you explain to us what project you're doing now for the war?
Absolutely. Yeah, we operate in 20 cities, and those 20 cities know that that they can count on us. If they need some renovations, they can count on us. There were bomb shelters in many of the cities that those cities never experienced missile attacks. For example, if you take Beit Shemesh or Kiryat Gat or Kiryat Malachi, they never experienced missile attacks. And the emergency rooms of the municipality were calling us and saying, you have no idea. We come into a bomb shelter, it's flooded with 50 centimeters of water, or the door is stuck because it's all rusted, or the windows are not opening, or the ventilator is not operating, and sometimes the bathroom is all clogged, and there needs to be a pump in the bathrooms because it's underground, and so once the pump is all rusted and broken, then the whole place is you can't use the bathroom. So, can you help us? This was the question from the mayors from those cities, And right away, I have 11 teams of workers all across the country, all the way from Chatzor in the north to the south, all, around Gaza also, Sderot and Netivot and Ashkelon, Beersheba, Kiryat Gat, Kiryat Malachi. So, I turned all my 11 teams into emergency teams. And they all have vehicles and the tools and the materials and everything else. And we start going into bomb shelters and fixing them one by one. Then I saw that it's not enough. We're not fast enough. People needed right away. They needed, people were running to the shelter. If they find that the place is flooded, there's no place to hide. What do? So they would run back to their building and hide under the staircase of the building. That's not safe. Usually, those old buildings, the walls are like cardboards. It's that dangerous that if something happens in that area, there's no protection whatsoever, and people were terrified. They were talking about, fathers were saying to us, we are so embarrassed in front of our children because we cannot give them safety, security. How can it be? I'm the father. I'm the mother. I'm supposed to give safety to my children, and I cannot supply that. So we start going from, shelter to shelter. So once we saw that we're not fast enough, I start hiring other contractors. Now you have to understand, when the war started, there was no work, in Israel. So, to take a contractor and to give him work, it was a huge relief for them also, for the contractors. So I took a whole bunch of different contractors, 3 teams in the north and 3 teams in the south, and those contractors had a lot of workers also. So they would come and do 3 bomb shelters a day or 5 bomb shelters a day because they have enough teams to put in those bomb shelters. Wow. So by now we fixed and made accessible more than 500 bomb shelters around Israel.
Amazing.
Yeah, but we still have long lists. Now the war is going on in the north.
Yeah.
And we started getting lists from municipalities in the north, from Tzfat, from Chatzor, from other places in the north. And so again, now is the new round of war with Lebanon. I hired more contractors in the north to come and help us help our teams to fix those bomb shelters. But it's not that we forgot about all the needy people and the poverty-stricken people. No. Our goal this year is to do 600 homes, and we're going to do it. Our goal is also 300 bomb shelters. We're going to do 300 bomb shelters. This is it. How do I do it? Yeah, there's help from, up there all the time. And this is wonderful. All the wonderful people that they hear about what we do, and they hook up with us. And it's just happening. And there's so much to do. Every place, there's so much to do.
Tell me about the partnership with CBN Israel.
Amazing. CBN heard about us. And I got a call and, come visit us. We may want to engage you in our program of helping families and also helping with the bomb shelters. And it's wonderful people here. It's such a wonderful, the beautiful thing about CBN is there's no bureaucracy. It's so beautiful. You need money, tell us how much you need and what it's going to do. Okay, you need $100,000. How many families can you do for $100,000? You need another $50,000. How many bomb shelters can you do for $50,000? And by the way, it's like a magic. It's beautiful.
What does it mean to have Christians who are supporting Israel, especially at a time like this?
I think we have a mutual goal, in to strengthen Israel and to strengthen the Jewish people who are living in Israel is a mutual goal that us and Christians have all over the world. And it's beautiful. I spoke in communities in America, in churches, and in other places in America, and they're all so supportive of what we do here in Israel, and how we help the new immigrants and how we help needy people, and especially the single mothers. There's such something about single mothers. We also had in the past, we also had groups of Christian groups coming, and they want to volunteer. So not only that, sometimes there's people that are serious. They're very highly driven, to come and help, and they even come with the belt, with all the tools,
Oh my goodness!
And we would take him into a bomb shelter. We would take him into homes, and these guys are serious. You talking about okay, to do this plaster this wall. It takes half of the time of anyone else. This is
wow. Oh, that's good.
They're serious. They're good. They're professional. And I truly enjoy working with Christians. I've been working with Christians now for at least 20 years. And it's a joy.
Oh, that's great. All right. Now, you say that you were talking about that you call in English, you call our organization Building Hope.
Yeah.
But what's the exact translation of Tenufa Bakehila?
Give a momentum within the community.
Give momentum into the community. Oh, that's great. It also it embodies that holistic approach that you take, which is like not just to fix the house, but also to see what are the needs that can put this family to make a house a home.
Yes.
Actually.
Yes.
So what are you said you've helped 8,000 families. You told me this before we were recording, but through how many years?
We've been around now for about over 30 years. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, in the first 7 or 8 years, we were doing a minimal 30 families a year, 40 families a year, until we started to get more serious and raise more money, and be able to. By the way, we don't get any help from the government, as I mentioned before. The minister said we're not helping. But they're not helping in giving money. They're helping in other ways, in referring people or giving us people from their office to be lay people to other sources of money. So it's good. And also the municipalities, they participate in, the minimal that they can. Some of the municipalities are so poor, the ones outside of Gaza, for example, they have to spend all their money on security, on safety. So they don't have any money for welfare. And so we have to, sometimes it's a different kinds of cooperation we have with different places.
In communities where you've helped, like you said, you will help maybe like 20 families or something like that. What do you see as the long-term effect in that community?
I'm sure that it changes everything for everybody in the city, because if you don't have poor kids anymore, then those kids can do, they can dream, they can do whatever they want. They can now, if they needed to spend their money on maintenance or something else, and now they can spend the money on learning computers better. These are people who are going to be a greater asset to the state of Israel. And as far as the municipality, when I spoke to some of the mayors where we finished the project, we completed the project already, and they were saying, it's amazing. I can free our people from, taking care of this aspect to other aspects of the family, maybe employment, which is amazing. If a family didn't have employment, didn't have any income, and now all of a sudden they have employment, it's amazing. So I'm sure there's the effect is the ripple effect is wonderful. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, well, I was going to ask you. I see. I don't know if we've touched on everything in your notes, but I'm wondering, is there anything else that you want to add that we didn't talk about?
I want to talk about the employees.
Okay.
Yeah, I have 27 employees now. And we're divided into 11 teams of workers. Each one of them has a vehicle and tools and store where they get all the materials. But the employees are a wonderful success story, because we made a point from the beginning to hire people who come from poverty-stricken background and people who needed a job, or people who didn't have any profession, finished the army maybe and don't have a profession, or they're too old because now they're 40 something years old and they're too old and they feel too old to learn something new. So we took a lot of people. We have few professionals who are super professionals, and they train those people. So now it's amazing. Just yesterday we just finished a long holiday in Israel,
Yes.
where we were now working for about 10 days now. So yesterday, everybody went back to their jobs, and I get a call from one of the employees, and he says to me, "You know what? The holiday was wonderful. Everything was great. But I missed being in the homes of those people. I missed helping people." So, you take someone like that who is in very deep despair of himself, of what he can do and how he can be an asset to his family, to his kids, and all of a sudden he feels, oh, now I can do it. Not only that, but I'm great. I'm capable. So it's a wonderful success story. I have one story about a guy, 16 years old, coming from a single mother family and new immigrants. And one day we come into the home, and we didn't see him in the first 2 days of working in the house. We didn't see him, but then the third day we all of a sudden see a new face. He's this 16 years old. So we asked him, "Who are you? What are you doing here?" He said, "Oh, I was sent to a delinquent school because I did some drugs and did some trouble, and they sent me to this delinquent school, and now I did another mischief, and now they're going to take me to court, and I don't know what's going to happen." So we knew what's going to happen. This guy, if we don't help him right now, he's going to go to jail. And if you go to jail, you become a criminal. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we decided, he was such a wonderful guy. He just, lost in the world. He doesn't have a father. He grew up with no father in the house and no support. And they didn't know how to direct him in the right direction. So he was just led by the street. Yeah. And we contacted the social worker, his social worker, and we offered them. We said, if you want, we can take care of him every day from 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the afternoon. He's going to be under our auspices. He's going to learn the trade of how to fix homes. And but all the rest of the stuff is your responsibility. You're the social worker. It's your responsibility. If you want to do urine tests, for drugs or anything else, this is your responsibility. We're going to take care of him, and during the day. And this guy, he worked for us for about 7 months. And after 7 months, he comes up to me and he says, "Gabi, I need a favor. I have a place that is offering me more money. And I've been giving half of my salary from you. I've been giving to my mother already, which is, again, it's not enough. Are you okay if I go and work for this guy and bring a higher salary and give it to my mother?" This is wonderful. This is amazing. We changed his life. We changed the whole course of his life. He was going to become a criminal. And not only that, later he went to the army. He was in a fighting unit. He became somebody. He became someone who is strong and confident. And now he's a real man now.
Oh my gosh! Wow, what a story!
And we have many, many, many such stories. About the mother who her husband deserted her and went abroad to another country and left her with all the children and with debt in the bank and all kinds of trouble. And we came and we wanted to see how we can actually change her life and not only fix the house. Okay, we can fix the house, but we want to change her life. We want to bring her to a new path, a path of growth. From here on, she's going to be in a path of growth. So we we asked her, what do you do? So she said, I can do manicure. Now, I learned it when I was in high school, and I can do manicure. So we asked her, would you like us to take part of your living room, close it off, so you can do your own shop in there? And sure enough, we did that. And she was fine. All of a sudden, she had a business inside the house. And she was fine. We had to help with other things. She had huge debts in the bank, and we found another organization that helps out with closing all those debts. And she had trouble with the phone company and with the bank, and so we made sure our social worker. And this is very important because this is really bringing people to a new path. A social worker, she stays with the family as long as they need her. There was one time that she stayed with the same family for 1.5 years. Why? Because they needed her, and they could use more help from her. And so, yes, this is, yeah. I'm so proud of, this program because it really changes people's lives and really puts them on the track of growth and not despair. And, when we say building hope, that's the idea of building hope. Yeah.
Oh, that's really amazing. And it's all really, this is a testament to your mom who instilled this value into you. But even while you were living in lack, she was always encouraging you to go and to help others. Yes. And that was that was the main value that you had growing up, was always to go out and to help others.
Yes.
And that's what you've built this organization on.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to ask me about my dream?
Oh, tell me your dream.
You want to ask me about my dream? Here's my dream. My dream is to have an Israel with no housing poverty all across Israel. Right now we're in 20 cities. My dream is to be in 40 cities. Right now we're raising about $2 million a year in order to run the organization. Mm-hmm. If I have $4 million, I'm gonna be in 40 cities and help more people and help over 1,000 families every year. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine if an average family has 5 souls, then it's 5,000 people every year who are going to be helped. So this is wonderful.
That's huge. Wow. Well, may God help you fulfill your dream.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for your time. And it was really wonderful to learn more about what you do.
Thank you. Thank you.